Hello. So laggy. You hear me? Say yes if you can hear me. Okay. So I'm fine, like I'm moving fine. Okay. Pull up the match. Sorry, stream was acting up.
For him, there's not really much of a channel to attack into. Valencia trying to make progress.
Ecuador has a free kick here.
Pinyan will take the free kick. Remember, the disallowed goal started from a delivery into the box. Bit of space to drop that into. Keeper's concerned, understandably, goes into towards that space, but it was too low to have any effect.
Ecuador
Preciado.
controlling the game so far. Oh, good block, good block, good block.
That's great recovery from Abdul Karim Hassan. Goal break by Gonzalo Plato, who operates in wide areas to good effect, can score goals as well. I watched this time last night, Ecuador training, are very hospitable to us, the visiting media. They looked in fine spirits, athletic, good chirpiness about the session.
Alright, score prediction. My score prediction 1-1, 1-1, 1-1 here.
It would have been very chirpy if that early goal had stood. Sad.
Sorry for the delay.
You would think from Ecuador's point of view, from what they've seen so far, they might want to put it right into his territory. I always wonder what goalkeepers think when they are sort of singled out by the opposition, crowded, as if that is a weakness. Whether they rise to the challenge or feel intimidated by it. Maybe Mark Bosnich can tell us later. He's got company for Qatari keeper. Goalkeeper again was attracted to a ball that he was never going to get, or his defenders weren't going to leave for him to deal with. An intriguing opening 12 minutes, but Ecuador have settled the quicker without the weight of expectation from the home support, of course. They've got their own fans here, big swathe of the seating behind the goal that they're defending.
Ecuador moving the ball nicely.
Hello, Preciado.
Not too much. Oh, switch.
Too much.
Bit of pressure applied by Qatar here. Opening 12 minutes. No. Okay, just now they're using the offside. I think it's like robot offside system they're using. It's for the first time in Qatar, so it looks pretty good. That was probably from earlier when I missed it.
Against Michael Estrada. Arawi looking long, come out by Torres.
Let me just look at the lineups real quick.
Mr. Pinian.
Because
look forward
lineup.
Capier.
Oh, Saicedo or the what's this called it?
It's quite a direct approach
the
from
Brighton player.
Valencia's team.
Estupan as well for Brighton.
Trying to use
the two Brighton players here.
He's played as a winger, he's played through the middle. It's definitely a twin-pronged attack with Estrada, who's been in very good form, as I said earlier in the qualifying games. Well, Sebas Mendes, who comes from a great
Ecuador's through.
Family. And I might be in again here, and is this one going to be one that counts, or is going to be a
It's a penalty! Penalty to Ecuador.
What retribution will follow? It's a yellow card.
Penalty to Ecuador. They can take the lead here right now.
Can't see there'll be any question of VAR overturning this. And Valencia to the fore.
Valencia.
Reaching for the ball.
Ecuador's main man.
There was contact. Surely there was contact. Just there. And that was the moment there. He wanted to score the goal himself.
Can Ecuador do this? Can Ecuador take the lead? Because it all rests on the Valencia's shoulders here. All Ecuadorians and Qatarians up on their feet. Tense. The energy.
29 penalties awarded in the last World Cup, 22 of which were scored. That was put down to VAR, actually, as a new development. Well, it's the Enner Valencia show so far.
Can he score?
Brought down for this penalty, and now the taker of this penalty.
1-0 to Ecuador. Valencia calmly puts it into the bottom corner. It's 1-0 to Ecuador. Looks like they're going to run away with this match unless Qatar do something. But so far it's been all Ecuador this past 15 minutes. They're all praying to someone.
Of the World Cup Finals 2022. Quite test, really.
Let me edit this.
Imagine if he had failed from the spot, having had a goal disallowed. But look at that. I know which way you're going, and I can put it the other side. That was the message from Valencia.
My game's a bit laggy.
So we do have our first goal of the finals, and it is an Enner Valencia goal. And Ecuador
1-0 already.
By that goal to nil after 16 minutes.
Qatar just booted it long. Oh, Qatar is playing some quick football. Ooh, Qatar with that quick response. Even though didn't lead to anything.
A corner, but I don't think he's going to get it. So a yellow card. I think the interpretation was nil against Saudi Arabia. Pinian to Capier. Mendes.
If you want to know where I'm watching this, for Australia, SBS On Demand streaming all the World Cup matches for free. So if you want to watch with me, just go on SBS On Demand.
started strong. He kept the ball, even though he was fouled. Happy to get the free kick and the chance to deliver again into a somewhat tentatively defended penalty area by Qatar.
All matches being screened there. Ecuador. Oh! I was looking at the chat, and Ecuador nearly got a second one.
That's the vulnerability of the host nation. Being exposed.
It looks like they're not sure who. Actually, I have no idea who the majority of these players are. But
to his World Cup.
Looks like I think it was Saiciedo who did a cross, and sorry, Estupan did a cross, and
over the goalkeeper.
Oh, they just collided.
Desperate to score. The ball was just too high for him. And he's ended up in the back of the net, but the ball didn't. The goalkeeper took a bang as well, but he's okay.
Looks like everyone's okay, which is good, which is very good to see.
Michael Estrada plays in Mexico. On loan at Cruz Azul. Remember, Qatar are the reigning Asian champions. It's a long time ago now. They have to defend that title soon. At the moment, they're not defending anything very well.
Again.
The opening game of the World Cup.
Qatar looks very shaky. Very, very shaky in the first 20 minutes. They're not very involved in this game at all. Ecuador running all over them. So Qatar isn't really using the advantages, which are obviously probably they have more fans, as well as the conditions in Qatar. It looks like Ecuador have got used to this pretty quickly, and they're playing very well so far. If they keep going like this, I think Ecuador should comfortably win.
The World Cup, but we've had
actually we'll see. You never know about the second half.
The joint staging in Asia by Japan and South Korea.
But again, dispossessed.
6 draws, but
just like that, the Ecuadorians are working very hard. They're putting the work. They're working very hard on the pitch. It's very obvious to see. Again, quick interception, then got taken out.
In a way that's led to a yellow card. For the man who's trying to get involved in the game at the other end, Almoez Ali. They've got those 9 goals when they were Asian champions. 9 goals from 10 shots on target. 9 out of 19 for Qatar in just 7 games, only 1 conceded, but they've conceded 1 here already, and you have to be honest and say they look like conceding more. Trying to help out defensively. It's won back pretty smartly.
Whipped in.
There's a man over the back post. It's Estrada.
Estrada again. This guy. I hear the commentator talking a lot about it now. It seems like he wants to get in and out of the box to score goals. So hopefully, I think
it's still early days.
Should do all right for Ecuador. Obviously, Qatar and Ecuador, not many players that I know personally, but. Not personally, of course I don't know any of them personally, but I don't know in terms of football. I know a few from Ecuador, none from Qatar. The only thing I know about these Qatarians is that they just all play in the Qatar League. About it.
Mendes, he's officially known as, everybody I think in the dressing room calls him Sebas.
But I think Saiciedo, I'm not sure what number is he.
Nephew of one of the greats of Ecuadorian
better
football.
not miss something. What numbers?
Not too much between the two
Number
countries in the
23.
rankings.
Qatar
50th,
Of course, the Brighton boy. Doing well for Brighton. Hopefully, I think it's more of Bazuma's replacement.
Real purpose. A bit of a shove by.
Yeah, Qatar just haven't managed to ease themselves into this game at all. You know, home advantage. They played in these conditions.
It looks as though the occasion is
probably the occasion. like a World Cup, the first ever World Cup.
Ecuador are thriving
It's very nerve-wracking, whereas Ecuadorians have played in many World Cups.
Their coach playing the game, I suppose.
And they're not bad side South America, you know. Brazil, Argentina, and Ecuador have made it. Those are three South America. They beat Colombia, they beat Peru. Not Peru, but Colombia, the main one. So shows that they're pretty good. Pretty good team. Pretty good side.
Just need to put a decent passage of play together.
I think they're doing very quick passes to the
surely have.
Never mind.
Just been a sticky start. Surviving the very early goal in parenthesis that was ruled out.
Ecuador good defense.
And conceding the penalty.
Good clearance. Over the top. Oh, could have played him through. Could have played Valencia through. Another foul from the Qatarians.
Obviously, recognised there would be an opportunity, Angelo Preciado.
I'm watching this from Australia, so you know.
Naturalisation issue. They
left at like 12.
Ecuador.
2.5 hours of sleep. You know, grinding. But obviously for the World Cup.
3-point penalty. They've been fined.
Long ball.
Significant number.
Valencia wins the header. Iriba. Trying to learn the names as we go. Estupan. Estupiñan, bro. Sorry to all Ecuadorians, bro. I don't know your players.
Yeah, across to Torres. So a degree of confidence here. Qatar need to ruffle some feathers, really.
Here goes the Ecuadorians again. Nutmeg. Oh.
Stopped.
Still Ecuadorians heckling. See? Look at the Ecuadorians. Still work. As soon as they lose the ball, chase. They chased him. Chased him down. They chased him down.
Connection with Algeria and as a development player. Brought in as the coach has been. Of course, he's from Spain and very well versed.
Yeah.
Running Spanish methods of playing. We haven't seen too much tiki-taka.
Running 2.5 hours of sleep.
The Qatari players. That's largely down to the quality of Ecuador to this point.
Oh, here we go, over the top again.
Only got out of the group stage once. In 3 previous World Cups. And they went out in the round of 16, so they've got no great history. But they've got a decent setup. They've had a confident boosting qualifying campaign. And they've set out a decent stall here so far. Quite a pat on the back for those who have qualified. Obviously, Qatar get it by the geography of the hosting, but a lot of nations
Ecuador
involved.
taking their time here.
219
Qatar
in all.
To be closing them down.
To 32 now. And almost 2,500 goals over 850 games to bring us to where we are this evening in the Middle East.
Over the top again.
To run in behind again.
Valencia could have got it.
Really got a line
Irada.
Offside.
Deemed offside again.
Third ball's been picked up in that kind of area. Ibarra had the shot this time. Well, they're hoping for a bit more.
The Qatarian ultras won't be happy now, but here come Qatar. Oh, good tackle from Sidefield. Oh, never mind, not good tackle, yellow card.
They are going to be strict with yellow cards, we're told. Moses Caicedo
I said,
A bit late.
bro, I actually can't pronounce any of these names. So I said,
The emphasis, quite rightly, on player welfare, but every player knows that they're entering into a physical arena when they put on their football boots.
oh, I didn't see this chat.
Qatar just looking for this moment to just spark themselves into the game. It's tense and rather error-strewn at the moment by Abdulaziz Hatem. Mo Salah look-alike. Afif.
Bro, commentator said Mo Salah look-alike to the Ecuadorian right back. Huh. Hey, for tomorrow's game,
if you're going to take an extra touch, we're going to press. It's given them a very good opening half an hour to their tournament here.
We got
Capia.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Pignan. And, expected to go for the return pass.
All right.
But he didn't. And he wants to know why.
What do you want? Tomorrow's game. I mean, I'm in Australia, so I can't watch all three. Then I'll just be staying up all night. And I could do that, but it's very unhealthy. So I could watch at least two.
When it could have been
the England-Iran game,
well.
and then sleep, and then wake up.
Oh, fine header. It's Enner Valencia's show here.
Oh, what? Bro, I was too busy concentrating on something else.
No wonder he's smiling.
2-0 again. Oh my God.
And it's
2-0.
No reflection, really, other than
Valencia with another goal.
He knows it. His team are getting outplayed here.
Qatar is getting outplayed. Look at them. I think Qatar's finishing last, 100%. There's no way. If they're getting outclassed by Ecuador, they're going to actually get demolished by Netherlands and Senegal.
He's had a goal disallowed already. This is a player on the far side. But that's a header with emphasis. The first one was a routine close-range effort.
All right, I'm seeing the replay again. The Mo Salah look-alike. What a header. Beautiful. I think Estupan tried to get it first. I'm not Estupan. What's the guy's name? Estrada tried to get it first. Then Valencia was there. You know, fantasy players had
the possibility here. The first half hat-trick
Valencia.
in the opening game of
no
the
happy
World
days. 2 goals already.
He's actually got a hat-trick, hasn't he?
Crazy.
If you look at it in times he's put the ball in the net. Only 2 have counted. Pedro Miguel getting forward. Ibarra defending. It's worth a shot.
My brother tried to score,
really.
Take a shot from the Indian plains of Africa.
Shot. They'll have better moments to come from Karim Hassan, but he is absolutely centre stage here in
again.
Qatar.
Qatar's getting absolutely outclassed.
Now got 5 goals in 4 World Cup appearances in the finals, setting Valencia own marks for Ecuador as he goes along, as the inquests go on at the back. And the togetherness, which was very apparent at the training session that I was allowed to watch last night, has manifested itself in the performance and the joy following the 2 goals. Estrada in the wars here.
We rush it straight, hold on. He had something.
It's a free kick. More trouble.
I swear,
Perhaps
Ecuador's
brewing
4
here
now.
for the host nation. It's a story with two sides to it at the moment. The
Where should we put this?
excellence of the Ecuadorians and the vulnerability of Qatar. Didn't quite get his shot away, Plato.
Alright, here we go. Mo Salah. Mo Salah plays it smartly back to the keeper. Mohamed Salah plays a long switch. Estrada tries to get there, but unfortunately, again, Ecuador with the constant pressure on Qatar. Just that constant fight. They wanted more, they're working harder, and without it, they're 2-0 up.
We're a long way up here in the big stand, but just though it was rescued in time. Mr. Pinyan. It could be perhaps the only potential problem for Ecuador at the moment is it's not exactly showboating, but taking a touch in a dangerous area. There's a fine line between confidence and arrogance. You want to stay on the confident side of it. Mendes. Well, there's another foul and the card's out again.
Qatar is gone, bro. They're gone.
Trying
like,
to find a way to stop.
They're just fouling. That's literally the only thing they can do here.
Potentially nasty talent on the knee. That can really open a knee joint up there. That tackle. He's had the gain and now he's got a bit of pain. Karim Boudiaf slightly reflecting really the desperation that Qatar are feeling out of their peers, other countrymen, those who proudly been working over 12 years to get the World Cup actually staged here against the background of environmental difficulty, human rights difficulties. We should never forget during this 4 weeks that the building of these lavish stadia has incorporated a tragic loss of life.
Valencia getting treated here.
Daniel Santos had quite an eventful first half here. Vanishing yellow cards. He's been party to ruling out a goal that he'd given on the call of VAR, and he also awarded quite correctly a penalty. He wants to get his players in a bit to try and address some of the problems. Been a bit too much know-how, really. It's Estrada and of course Valencia.
Easily caught by the keeper.
So there was a potential situation that Ecuador would have their place, would be stripped of their place in the finals after protests from rival South American countries which didn't qualify. Since there's been a South American world champion, 20 years.
Here we go. Oh, good tackle. Estupar now.
Italy, Spain, Germany,
Qatar's
and France, the last
punish.
four.
Caicedo Caicedo running up with the ball. Estanda.
Caicedo getting it through, and they might be in again here.
They're in.
Strong and
Good piece of
determined tackle
defending.
by Al-Rawi, who fouled at the end of it by Valencia. Couldn't get the better of him that time. But a subdued atmosphere in the El Bait Stadium, understandably, given the scoreline. And not just that, the lack of attacking prowess from the home country. Maybe we can open up a little bit here. Al-Rawi trying to play from the back. They're giving Ecuador the opportunity to regroup. And then behind the ball, it's a goal kick. It's one of those that could have gone the other way. Preciado pushed all the way by the left wing back, Oman Ahmed.
The Ultras are still doing their part, but bro, Qatar ain't doing nothing. But you never know. Second half, Ecuador might be getting tired now due to the conditions. But you never know. Qatar could do something. So my prediction 2-1, 2-1.
For the last 5 minutes of the first half, bit of time to be added on for a couple of stoppages, including the VAR check on the disallowed goal. And now
Qatar's through. But there's just too many Ecuadorians in there. Ecuador, great tracking back, good tracking back. Qatar again.
He comes again. Qatar
Ooh,
again.
not bad. These past 3-5 minutes, Qatar's been on the front foot.
A little bit more.
They've found a bit more oomph, I'd say, in the match. So I think it's their chance to capitalize if they want to in the second half. Or right now, actually, at the brink of half-time, a goal wouldn't be too bad for them right now.
Confidently taken penalty and buried header. I feel that Qatar need for their belief to surface again. They just need to be able to keep the ball for a little while. You don't have to go for a Hollywood pass. Just work Ecuador around a little bit. And maybe that's what they're trying to do here.
My brother Valencia tried to tackle my guy and he injured.
A little slide down the line for.
There we go, Salah.
Mohamed again.
What's his actual name though?
Well,
Too bad. I keep saying Salah, but I don't know the actual
He has been clobbered a couple of times.
This guy was like, the commentator was like, bro, mini Salah, not mini Salah, look-alike Salah.
It wasn't so much for a clobbering, it was a tackle that carried a bit of risk to himself.
The Ecuadorians are putting their bodies on the line here.
Players, when they get into
It would be bad if Valencia's injured, because I think he's the star player here.
They have a history of loose knee joints.
But, you know, they're happy, 2-0 up.
Playing in Turkey with Fenerbahce.
Qatar's still out here in full force.
In English football in the Premier League with West Ham and then on loan at Everton.
Valencia's down here. Not looking good for Ecuador, because this will probably alter their chances in, obviously, when they play Netherlands and Senegal, because they won't have their goal scoring threat of Valencia, which isn't good, but hopefully will make it pretty recovery for the team, because, you know, who knows, Ecuador could make it through. Obviously, Senegal, they don't have Sadio Mane, their main man, so we don't know how they're going to perform. But I still predict that.
That's the final say.
So hold on,
the final say. There's only a couple of minutes to go to half-time where they can assess him. Or that's a painful one, and we're not just talking about the second half of a match here. We're talking about a tournament that's compacted more than any in recent memory anyway. Certainly more than any with 32 nations taking part. Remember, 5 substitutes can be made, but there is an instant. Maybe one aspect of it that will be taken into account. You can make them at half-time and a couple of other windows, but if he makes one now, it restricts the way he can make his substitution later in the game. Valencia is going to carry it through to half-time, but I'd be surprised if we see him again in the second half. There goes Pedro Miguel. To retreat, though. Estrada flicking it on, winning the throw. And we'll see. We've seen more close-up shots of him than all the other players put together in this first half. Going to be 5 added minutes.
5 added minutes of the first half.
And we're into that now, as you can see. Free kick to Qatar. I'd love to use this 5 minutes to get a foothold back in the game. If they can score the next goal, that's got to be their target. I was saying, if you're 2-0 down or more at half-time, go out and try and win the second half and see where that takes you. Be able to just buy into that old football cliche from an old football cliche monger here.
Anyways, first half, Ecuador will be very, very happy to see their performance. I think they performed very well.
Come very deep to get a few touches with the ball.
And yeah,
here he is again.
They should be very happy. Qatar needs some talks for the second half.
Better
hopefully the gaffer can give them some words of encouragement. Hopefully we can see a different Qatar. We can see, nah, we can actually play. We can play, because this is like, you're the host nation, and the host nation normally does very well. But
maybe,
like we saw Russia survive an upset in 2018. I mean, 2014 deserved that everyone knows what happened. South Africa even performed very well.
Trying to play through the lines.
Shabalala, whatever, that guy's name.
Sanchez
scored that goal, but I think Qatar need to go in.
It's not getting them very
with,
far.
More hunger, more desire. I think Qatar's got to outwork them. Like, Ecuador's had more talent, first of all, but they're also Ecuador's also outwork.
Heading back to saying the laws of the game,
kind of
the ball goes out, you should try back in from it.
Like, obviously, I think managers need to go in there and just tell them they need to work harder. They need to go outwork Ecuador, find those chances and just take them.
That is Torres.
That's what I think. That's what I think.
Out through Preciado and as well, and
like these cheap fouls, they're not going to do shit.
It's not that they've been over aggressive.
I don't know what
they're doing.
They just need to be clumsy, outwork more. They're just being very clumsy, these cheap ass tackles. Qatar, but Ecuador, I think without Ecuador, I think it's
a very quiet crowd.
Don't get Ecuador. They need to be switched on and just need to control the game at their pace. So they've been doing that pretty well the first half, and they just keep doing it. You can see 3-0.
Defend well, so they put themselves in a very strong position.
A comfortable 2-0 win, which is pretty good.
Points. What they don't do is score.
And it'll be, I think it'll be a good sign for the other nations. Because I think Ecuador, after seeing them, I know it's Qatar, but it looks like they're doing quite well so far.
I suspect maybe just these few minutes before half-time, unless there is something that is maybe a previous injury they know how to treat straight away. It did look as though a joint was opened up after he'd opened up the 2-0 lead. Caicedo. Preciado touched off.
Caicedo overlapping run to Mohamed Salah lookalike. What's his name? Just number 17. Let me check. Who's this guy? Preciado.
First half of the tournament.
There we go.
Whets all our appetites, of course, and certainly the other 30 competing nations. What they're stepping into.
First half about to bear upon us. Another foul.
It's Abdul Karim Hassan. Just ran into a foot on his boot, really, from Sebas Mendes. Here's Pedro Miguel.
And here they go. Oh!
On the first real chance. It does
The
come the
first
way
real chance from Qatar.
And they've had to wait until
Could have
stoppage
been
time to get it. And it is the last
kick of the game, halftime.
And what a difference that could have made.
Halftime.
He got into space, whether he might have been offside, possibly. But at least it offers some encouragement to Qatar side that have found the occasion a bit too much for them so far. Ecuador, on the other hand, have been excellent. And it could be worse for Qatar as the half-time whistle goes. Enner Valencia had a goal disallowed, then won a penalty which he converted, then scored with a fine header. It's been his half, as you can see on the graphic at the bottom of your screen. Ecuador's half, but only half the job done. At the break, here in the El Bait Stadium, just outside Doha. It's Qatar 0, Ecuador 2.
Football unites the world. Na paixão and peace.
And enjoy.
El fútbol une a todos.
Discover a world of difference on SBS On Demand. With over 15,000 hours of world-class entertainment at your fingertips. All for free. And stream our TV channels anywhere, anytime.
Show you something. Look at all the football memorabilia.
Jeez, that's a rough looking picture of Archie Thompson.
Guy! Sorry, Archie. Do you live in there?
Nah, I get paid to sit here.
Get all the cup action on the Tab app.
Wanna go to McDonald's?
Hey! McDonald's!
Macca's?
Guys?
Fancy Macca's?
Sure.
Right.
Penny's happy to take on more risk because she wants long-term investment.
Hold on.
There aren't many choices. But there are with CFS First Choice Investments. Bold choices, like their Global Tech and Comms Fund.
It's in the paper, Penny. An average of 19.78% per annum over the last 10 years.
Penny dropping penny. You too can access pro products. Ups and downs are inevitable, but the world is in the palm of your hands. Drink it up.
This is my family. Every World Cup, we all get together.
Mate, let's go.
How do you think the matches went
Karim
halftime?
eats goals for breakfast. Leo, he's one of a kind. With Sonny, everything's brighter. Nobody's faster than Hakeem. Serge's style is unbeatable.
Halftime thought.
You can't forget about your boy Storms. When football is everything, impossible is nothing. Hey, you!
New New Balance we got now.
He's driving and striving and hugging the turns.
And thinking of someone for whom he still burns. He's going the distance.
She's all alone in a time of need. Because he's pacing and pacing the flooding course.
Screen's a bit.
Go the distance in the new Hyundai Santa Fe Hybrid.
Screen's a bit laggy, so everything's kind of delayed. Hopefully we'll get that fixed
You've got one job.
tomorrow.
Chinese keep to their camp, the whites will keep to theirs.
What do you think will happen? The Guaylo will find a murdered white woman in Chinese clothes.
One of your people is going to
Halftime
hang.
thoughts, halftime thoughts.
There's blood coming.
New Gold Mountain, now streaming on SBS On Demand.
I see these garden club ladies every week at this bistro downtown. How does someone join a club like that?
In my opinion, yeah.
Oh, honey.
I think
don't let
Ecuador's
frumps
gonna run away
into
with
the
this.
garden
Ecuador,
club.
100% gonna run away with this.
Do whatever makes you happy.
Like,
I admire women who try to remake
it's gonna
themselves.
be.
Ladies.
I think Valencia's gonna get a hat trick.
Still
3-0, Valencia hat trick.
Why
We're gonna
Women
add it
Kill.
right here.
All seasons now streaming on SBS
That's
On
what I
Demand.
think. That's what I think. Honestly. Let me just adjust this camera. Yeah, I enjoy doing these watch along with me do stuff. If I do all 3 matches.
At halftime at El Bait Stadium, it is
Bro,
absolutely
like,
the
I'm
Enna Valencia show. It is
So I'm
Qatar
gonna
nil,
do at least
Qatar
probably
nil,
2 matches.
Ecuador
I'm probably
2.
gonna do.
And Ecuador, Mark
I'm
Bosnich and Craig
probably
Foster have
gonna do
absolutely
the
been in control of this contest.
England-Iran
We
game,
spoke
which
about
is
the pressure. We
12.
spoke about the expectation before the game.
Actually, I'll do 3.
Been too much for Qatar in
England
the end.
and
Oh,
Iran
definitely
at
has.
12.
See, there was an old saying when we used to play, used to say, play the
USA
game, not
at
the
Wales
occasion.
at
Unfortunately
6,
for
and
Qatar,
then Argentina,
they've definitely
Saudi
played the
Arabia.
occasion. But I think we have to give a
So
lot of credit to
I
Ecuador
probably
as
won't
well.
be able to do
Although people will be sitting back
Senegal
saying,
and
well, I haven't done anything special, but the bottom line is they've done what they needed to do. And look, we're going to have a look at it again, but we're still wondering why they're not 3-0 up. But congratulations to them, because at the end of the day, you know, you have to go out and do what you have to do, regardless of what the opposition are going to do. But on Qatar, Foz, like I said, Sanchez are going to have to come up with something at half-time. This is going to get really ugly for them.
No, a lot
And
of
so
sleep,
they've
but,
had a
you know,
huge
it's a World
preparation.
Cup.
They've played in the Copa America. We talked about the
Basically,
Gold
it's
Cup, and I just
holidays
wonder whether
So,
playing without
chilling.
real pressure and not having to qualify has affected
Good
them, because
vibes.
they've come into this big moment, biggest moment of their lives, in front of their country, in front of the world, and really the first half was awful. You know, you saw there was a header in the last 3 minutes, or in additional time. Before that, they're only once in the back third of Ecuador. So the approach was way too cautious, and as you're going to see from the highlights, you know, they're extremely strong in the air, Ecuador, right? Extremely strong. Every time they've got forward into the final third, they get a free kick, and all of a sudden, you know, they're in all sorts of trouble in Qatar. So, and what they're doing is they're inviting them on, you know, just sitting in the middle of the field, you know, in a medium block, and saying, okay, well, you guys have the ball, and they allowed Ecuador to play themselves into the game, and once they get themselves ahead, that's incredibly difficult to break them down. We know, you know, and Qatar know how difficult it is to create chances against them, and now you have to come back from 2.
And it could well have been 3. Let's check out this moment.
Well, we're still
5 minutes
debating.
into the game.
You're going to have to tell us through this.
I really don't know. Now, we know we've got Sayat. So what, if people don't understand, so it's semi-automated offside technology, which should make it quicker and much more accurate. I won't go into the technical details of how many cameras and that and sensors of the ball, but they've got all that. But we're still wondering now. There's a referee, the Italian Daniel Losato, who's obviously just listened to the VAR. But what we're hearing is that it's this player here, Estrada, who was offside. Now, when a goalkeeper does come up, there's got to be 2 players behind the goalkeeper. It could be because of that. There was only 1 player behind the goalkeeper. That's why he was called offside.
So I thought when
but
he
I still can't see how Estrada, so that's the number 11 to play on the far side.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
How he interfered with play.
That's right,
I
yeah.
really
That's
can't see it. The funny thing is, the second goal, we were saying, this looks like it's offside. I've got a feeling that maybe they've turned around and gone, you know what, maybe the first one wasn't really great. We'll give him the second one.
We've seen that half a dozen times at this point, and we're still trying to work out exactly where that offside call came from. But in the end, Foz, it didn't matter, because Enna Valencia caused them issues all night long.
So really awful start from Qatar. And then what happens is you go down and obviously it's ruled offside, and then you don't change anything and you continue to invite them on. And so the camera kept going to Sanchez on the sideline, right? And you're just wondering, what's he thinking? Is he thinking? And then they play straight through the centre of the park, playing a back three. Your central defender steps out, and then allows a huge gap through the centre of the park, and and Valencia goes through, gets pulled down, and actually takes what is a magnificent penalty under the pressure of an opening game in a World Cup. Qatar are very experienced, as is he, of course. He was joint goal scorer with the great Agustin Delgado.
That's correct. With 3 goals each.
Yeah, and so now he's gone past that. He's played in World Cups before. Ecuador's experience has clearly told, and playing through that South American qualification series is very, very difficult. But again, Qatar really playing into their hands. And they're arriving here so often, and once again, you're sitting back, 2 passes, they're in your back third,
Great cross,
and all of a sudden, that's all it takes.
Yeah.
One player not responding. They've got a lot of defenders in the penalty area here. The line is a little bit all over the place, the organisation, and you've got there the wing back who's sitting back, who hasn't seen Valencia, hasn't closed the space, and he has a free header. Mind you, it is an absolutely magnificent header. The ball's almost slightly behind him. But again, you're inviting all of these crosses onto yourself when you can't defend in the air.
And here's that one there, Espipinan, who's been absolutely fantastic on the left side. They've attacked, the vast majority of times, they've attacked down that left-hand side. And what they like to do, Alfaro's teams, they like to, in this case with Ecuador, they like to overload that left-hand side, which leaves Plata on the outside. And if you don't deal with them, they're going to make things very, very difficult. Here's that chance that Fozzie spoke about right at the end. I think it was given offside in the end, but they're reacting, Qatar. And when I say this, they're not acting, they're reacting. They're 1 and 2 steps behind, and they've really got to change things, like Foz said at half-time. Right now, he's got one of his biggest halftime talks in his whole time. He's been a first-team manager since 2017, or else this could really get away from him. When I mean get away from him, it could be a 4 or 5.
We see those stats at half-time, and they're absolutely telling, because ultimately, Foz, Qatar have hardly been in Ecuador's final third in the whole 45.
Yeah, shocking.
So how do they turn it around from here?
So the thing is, like, if they were going to sit in this block, OK, fair enough, you're going to give the ball to Ecuador. Ecuador very strong on the counter-attack, so perhaps he's thinking, well, we need to see it. We don't want to give them the counter-attack, and they're not that, perhaps he's thinking, they're not that good with the ball, they can't break us down. The problem is, when they get in their final third, they kept fouling them, and all of a sudden, all the balls are coming in the air. So in the second half now, they have to open up. So now you're going to have to be tested at the back. With a back three, it might make it even more difficult against the very quick wingers of Ecuador. So this half-time is huge for Qatar.
It is all to do for Qatar from here. Stay right where you are. After the break, we'll bring you the second half of Qatar v Ecuador at the FIFA World Cup 2022 right here on SBS.
Tonight, England takes on Iran as both sides launch their 2022 FIFA World Cup campaign. Tonight, 11:30 on SBS and on demand.
Wanna go to McDonald's?
Hey!
Macca's? McDonald's? Macca's?
Guys?
Fancy Macca's?
Sure.
Mate, I want to show you something.
Look at all the football memorabilia.
Jeez, that's a rough-looking picture of Archie Thompson.
Guy! Sorry, Archie. Do you live in there?
Nah, I get paid to sit here.
Get all the cup action on the Tab app.
There's a have-a-go spirit that still lives on in the company founded all those years ago. Hyundai. So don't say you can't change the world. Have you tried it?
I give you my time and give you my space, no, then not to waste, yo.
And just listen to the fans!
PlayStation.
I, John Dutton, do solemnly swear to uphold the Constitution of the state of Montana.
You have no friends in this building, John. You're gonna have to bring your own.
You're all fired. Beth, you're my new chief of staff.
Back to work.
We will fight you dirty.
Is there any other way?
I love Montana, but I'm doing this for our family.
The explosive new season of Yellowstone, now streaming only on Stan.
Sisters, the virus took all the world's men.
There are more of us that will be hunted.
It's not like he's even that good looking.
Ese no va a venir.
Voy a encontrar al que hizo. Usted me ayuda, yo le ayudo.
¿Tuviste algo que ver?
Qatar with it all to do at El Bayt Stadium in the second half. They trail Ecuador 2-0 as we take you back to the stadium. And your commentator for this game, Martin Tyler.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. The good news from the Ecuadorian point of view, and I guess from the entertainment point of view as well, he's still out there. Enner Valencia, and they thought
looks like Valencia got treated for his injury, which is good sign for Ecuador. Very good sign. I'm calling it. Valencia has to right now, but we never know what Qatar just needs to outwork them and just find those little pockets of space, the chances.
As was said in the studio, really
hopefully do well.
The most important of his career. No changes from either coach at half-time. There was just that moment in that last attack in added time where Ecuador lost their concentration. They lost Almoez Ali in the middle. He couldn't take the chance. There was a suspicion that he would have been offside, but it was just something that we hadn't seen really in any shape or form by Qatar up to that point. From the Ecuador point of view, they go again, try and achieve the levels that they achieved in the first half. It's not always easy playing away from home. How much this feels like an away game. It is obviously for them within the neutrality of a tournament. Qatar do have the benefit of home fans, but home fans that have been somewhat silenced by what they've witnessed to this point. But that would change if the Maroon were to get the next goal. That's got to be their target.
Qatar the ball here. Oh, good block from
stealing the ball.
Caicedo. Good block from him.
There are three Qatari players, including the goalkeeper, who picked up yellow cards in the first half. It's already as though Afif's going to play in a maybe more playmaking position.
All right, here comes Ecuador. Running at them. Ibarra. Valencia at the ball. Tries to play it through.
And then it deflects harmlessly.
Safely handled by the Qatarian keeper.
Haven't seen Enner Valencia in full running situation yet. Karim Hassan, part of the back three that has been rather easy to penetrate. And the team in yellow. Kuki.
On the move. Then quite easily dispossessed by Ecuador.
Free kick goes in favour of the
Again,
hosts.
Ecuadorians still working harder.
Mendes
with that tackle, I think. Qatar needs to try to find something. Like, I think they should change something in the second half, but
Mendes, incidentally, one of
no
three
changes.
players in the Ecuadorian squad who have just come winning a trophy this month, the MLS Cup. Al-Rawi has done his best to try and play some pretty long and direct forward passes, but not been able to locate anybody. Maybe that's against the instructions from the coach, who likes to keep possession in a closer order, build from that. There's hardly been any sustained possession in the Ecuadorian half. Played a little bit around at the back.
Puts it upfield.
Well,
in the header.
Buriaf.
Valencia.
Job for Valencia again, but
Caught by the
good
keeper,
recovery
caught by
by
the keeper.
Gordam Kuki.
Let's go, let's go. Here comes Qatar.
Just have to start
Playing
again.
out from the bag. Mark Goldbridge probably
10
called
minutes
him back.
0-0. Try and get into the groove for the football.
I think what Qatar's doing
It's
now,
given
I
them some
think
promising
the
results. It's made
Qatar's
them
play
Asian
is
champions.
actually
A lot of these players were in that
possession
group.
play, keeping possession.
Don't come
which
through
I
a
think
tournament as
a
competitive as
decent
that
way to
with
play,
such
but
an
I think
outstanding record and
they
make off with the
just need
silverware
to be
without
just on the
having
counter attack. I think they just
basic
can't
abilities and more
maneuver
than that.
Ecuador. They don't have the
Today,
talent of Ecuador, obviously.
put
Possession
them
play is
there.
a bit challenging against
on
teams
show.
like this, especially when Ecuador is just constantly
Unlike his.
pressing, constantly working. It's very hard. If you play like a more relaxed team, maybe, but with Ecuador, I think they
Remember,
need to
this was
set the
moved
tactics here.
out to
Alpha
be a
manager, bring
standalone
on some
fixture
fresh
in the
legs,
original
bring on like maybe a
scheduling
striker or
of this
wingers
World
that
Cup.
just
It
has
was
a
going to be
abundance of
part
players
of
just run down.
a 4-day programme,
And
3 of
hopefully
which go on tomorrow.
make a
as
goal, make a
planned.
goal, because the longer this goes, the less likely they will
Including,
score. Like,
England's opener against Iran.
I think they might get one, but honestly, no, I don't think
Estrada.
so. I don't think they'll do that well.
They've got away here with Ibarra.
Here comes Ibarra.
Find the right ball.
Oh,
Third goal would finish. Surely
that would have been like Ecuador just constantly,
off a Qatari effort.
constantly. They're having a field day, honestly.
Ball by
Preciado guy.
Preciado.
Preciado. There we go. That's his
Ahmed
name.
Ahmed. And
Right. The way Qatar's playing, no one's making runs, no one's trying to get into these pockets of space. Ecuador's holding the
most
structure very
experienced
well.
Qatari player of all time. 170th cap. 170th cap, yeah.
Which is good for them to see.
Worth repeating.
But Qatar again, just
by
passing
Valencia
right in
might-
front of the left. I don't know what. Honestly, Qatar's
He holds
actually
his position, he'll get played in.
shit.
He's waiting in the
Now
middle.
here come Ecuador again. Should have
cross
crossed it,
goes.
in my opinion. Should have
Good piece
crossed
of
it.
defending by Kuki.
Caicedo.
Read the situation well.
They need to decide.
To
Preciado.
Preciado.
I don't know what he was thinking.
Trying to
He's not Mo
impress.
Salah, bro. Trust that. Preciado, you're not Mo Salah. You gotta keep calling him Mo Salah, and Mohamed keep calling him Mo Salah. You're not Mo Salah, bro. I think you just ran up the pitch,
7
crossed
games
it
unbeaten,
into one of
Ecuador.
the two strikers. They could have nicked a goal, honestly. And here we go with Qatar.
One defeat in March in their last 15.
Again, bro,
Against Paraguay.
that little 1-2 you gotta do, again, broken down so fast by their own players, bro. Like, honestly, not great, not great.
You know, he would have been judged offside, Almoez Ali. And the flag does go up in the end.
Offside.
On the edge of the desert here in the north of Qatar, most northerly ground of the 8 involved in staging the football. And there was a bit of a sandstorm, a minor one, I was told, but maybe a flavour of the area rather than what we want to have 4 weeks of World Cup football ahead. Didn't last too long. The storm from Ecuador might be lasting longer. The expense of Qatar in for Valencia and for Estrada
Nearly
as well.
again for Ecuador. Yeah, it should have been 3. It should have been 3. Again, just simply opening up the Qatar defense.
Still that feeling that when they get possession there, not really being closed down. They
Right,
that
could have someone would have got on.
Decent
that
ball.
Could have been.
Gonzalo Plata staying on his feet.
Not the best, not the best.
I think by the letter of the law, with the physios coming on, well, we should go off and actually treat him. Once they're waved on, that invokes
right,
a
again with the throwing. Why they keep
regulation.
playing it through the center, guys? They should be making maybe like more Qatar. They should be making more like
Two medics.
Definitely more forward run, more down the line throws instead of this sort of passive possession football route. They should be more attack minded in my opinion. And just be able to take risks.
Ecuador fancy their
against
chances
Ecuador.
of stealing the
like
ball.
Look at Ecuador, just constant pressure,
still
constant
under
intensity.
Instruction,
in their
that's the way
teeth.
they've been playing.
They're
It's
working
hard to
very,
just say,
very,
we're going to do
very
something
hard.
different.
You can outwork your opponent.
It is very much a coach's game these days.
You're going to see something. You're going to see something, 100%.
Philosophies.
And Qatar ain't doing that. And I don't think Qatar's going to do very well in this World Cup.
The style of
people
football.
expect it, but I think maybe Qatar could have done something, but at a home ground, conditions suit them. They played
It's always been more than one way to win a game.
It is what it is. So we see Qatar go switch again to no one. I don't know. Oh, now it's 1-2 ball. Rwanda, good save from the keeper. Irada, clear minute 3, good save.
Goalkeeper this time, and there's Ibarra who had the shot. Valencia. Ibarra still reflecting.
That could have been 3, but that was a good save. Good save from the Qatari goalie. Irada cuts in, went for the finesse.
Takes it onto his good right foot. Put a bit of
If it
bend
was
on
just a bit high in the top right corner, it could have been game over.
She got off his line
Really
well
could have been
to
game over.
make that kind of save more
Decido takes the throw. Long throw into the box. Qatar gets it away.
Long throw came in from Preciado.
Oh, good block. Again, Ecuador. Valencia down again. Now Ice is down. Yellow cards. How many? There's been a lot of yellow cards being dished out today, honestly.
Who's fouled. The referee had seen it.
Valencia down. And
Sebas
is
Mendes.
Qatari Ice, whatever his name is. He's also down. Mendes with the tackle.
Becomes the second player from Ecuador to be booked. As I say, known as Sebas, shakes from the given name.
Qatar free kick.
So if Ecuador came out expecting a storming start from a chastened Qatar.
Long ball from Qatar.
Beginning of the second half.
And they get on it. They have
to worry about that
Ecuador
too much.
easily defended. Irada on the ball.
Ibarra.
Estupiñán. Plays the
They
long
can
ball.
perhaps only be victims of a lack of concentration.
Irada out for the throw in.
To say there's no heat issues with the Excellent air conditioning down at pitch level. See quite a few people with jackets on behind the cameras and policing the fronts of the stands because it is pretty chilly. Happily,
we
cold
just
air
got
doesn't rise,
intel
so
that
we're much warmer.
I actually didn't know this, but like they have air conditioning with it, so you know, conditions, you know. Apparently, very cold. People are wearing jackets. I see people, a lot of people wearing jackets.
Drop a little bit more.
Like,
so the tournament
apparently it's quite cold in there.
Footballer friendly.
Which, I guess there should be air conditioning,
even next
but
month
like,
without it.
I think it still should be like fine.
And there was never any chance once they won the bid, Qatar, of offering to play
put this back
in the timescale, which
but
was
I think this should be
expected
a
June,
foul.
July.
Bro, Qatar like fouling, just fouling left, right, and center here. Fouling left, right, and center, which isn't good. But about to be in
just trying to get closer, really, as I say, it doesn't smack of sinister.
Ecuador with the other than that one
we're going to kick you, that kind of stuff, which is very hard to do at this level these days because of the
there's been a lot of fouls.
Awareness of
that's about it, really.
Player safety. They're just trying their hardest to get a foot in, try and maybe steal a ball up the pitch and mount a counter-attack. But it's men and boys still at the moment.
Martin Parr is calling men and boys, and I think, yeah, the good representation of this match.
I say that.
You know, Qatar playing like boys, whereas Ecuador playing like proper men.
Mendes.
Which is good to see, which is a good positive start for the nation. Shows that Ecuador is here to play, which is they are here to play. They're like, you know, don't fuck with us. You know, there's a possibility that Ecuador could make it through. I would be mad with seeing that because Ecuador is good. Ecuador's a good
who's done his best to
team,
try and step into
and I think
midfield from the back line.
Good things.
With an extra body in there.
Oh, good! Great interception. So
his left-hand side, which has been good if you've been following Qatari football and seen them play. They work the left-hand side well with the players that you're seeing involved in this match.
Oh, Saido. Man down, Mohamed Salah down.
Problem for Preciado.
Preciado is down. They're calling the medics again. Second player down for Ecuador, but I think they're looking to the bench now.
5 substitutes to be used in 3 windows. Dr. Plata was, I think, saying that the patient's okay. A bit of a stretch. Well, here's the replacement right back for Barham Castillo, who could have played. It looks as though the Ecuadorian Football Association did not want to run the risk of another scandal over the naturalisation of that player. Keeping his substitutes waiting just in case, but
recovery.
Now the Qataris playing against 10 now. Can that just give them a little bit more space, a lift of a chance? Certainly the best effort from Roro, Pedro Miguel, call him what you like. He nearly had whatever name he wants to go by on the World Cup goal scorers list.
And a missed opportunity.
Because he attacked this with real purpose.
Oh, that was unlucky.
And it caught out Estupinian, who would have been at fault had that gone in. He had he was looking at the flight of the ball, and The Qatari right back came in with a free run, bravely too. Good effort.
He's passing about
They are so
around the back.
schooled in this way of playing. Qatar. Felix Sanchez, who actually came to this country in 2006, worked his way up the ladder in coaching. He's had this job for over 5 years now.
Offside for Qatar.
As was mentioned in the studio, we do
Offside.
have this extenuated
Sorry for the
automated
delay.
offside.
I mean, I'll just say that.
12 dedicated cameras. It's quite a list now. There's virtually 3
Yeah, I'm
teams
kind
on
of
the
on
team
a
sheet.
delay here, so
You've got the two
like, I'm
11
watching
starting
myself right
lineups,
now.
and you've got 10 officials and
It's
2 replay
kind of delayed,
operators.
which isn't the
The
best.
technicians
not
getting in
best,
on the act as well,
hopefully,
getting a bit of credit. They're the ones that
about
move
it.
the
Fix
replays
it
about for the
next
referees
stream
to
because I think it will be good.
ascertain what the
Yeah,
correct call
it'll
should
be
be.
good. It'll be good.
VAR
Maybe
referees.
we could add
that
like a
is.
timer thing, so
Ooh,
it's
it's risky.
maybe better. But other than that, hopefully we should be fine. We should be fine. And over here, on this point, here, right here, right here, is the Valencia goals, obviously.
Hustle and bustle.
So whoever scores, I'll just chuck them
Game's come
right
thick and
out the
fast
screen.
if they can conserve some energy in their
So
second half.
yeah,
It doesn't really
that's about it.
challenge
That's
them.
about it, really.
Qatar still to muster an attempt on target, which is coming up
It's
to
about
65 minutes
65th
gone.
minute.
Playing at home is disappointing for them, but in football, the possibility for change is always there.
But they're still singing fair play to them. Fair play to the
Just as
Qatar. They're still
maybe
singing.
one of the
They're still like chanting.
Ecuadorians who's been booked,
But-
getting a second yellow card, and suddenly opens a window of opportunity for the host nation.
I mean, Ecuador is applying that
Those
pressure.
windows have been
Sorry.
very, very
Bit
hard to
tired.
find so far. As we complete the first 20 minutes of the
Obviously-
second half.
What was I going to say? I'm going to do an instant match
Governmental
reaction
encouragement
after
to
this.
the
Hopefully there's no delay
Qatari
and no
fans to
nothing.
drive
So
to games. There is
hopefully
a new
we'll do
metro
an instant
system
match
which
reaction.
services some of the
Yeah,
grounds.
prepare for the next
Not this
game.
one, because we're quite a long way out of Doha. But
I haven't
the
posted a
free
while
car parking, there is so much space they can park the car. And I
Which
think
is
they'd rather
obviously.
than have
I'm not sure
the
that any
metro,
other
which
watch
is
alongs. Let me check about any other watch
not,
alongs.
how should I say, full of long trains.
I'll probably put like a timer sort of
Maybe
thing.
that might get overcrowded. And the foreign fans should have some preference because they
Am I the
don't
only watch along?
obviously have the wherewithal to drive in this country.
Bro, this.
So we will keep you up to date on that and many other things that are more cultural maybe than actually about the football itself. It's a learning process for everybody here.
Yeah.
The crossfield pass again,
Raw.
looking as though it might pay a dividend.
Qatar try to do something good.
Qatar throw.
Qatar throwing.
And we're going to see Jeremy Sarmiento. So all 3 players from Brighton and Hove Albion, the south coast of England, are going to be involved for their country, Ecuador, in the opening evening of this World Cup. Sarmiento has interesting background. We'll come to that when he gets on. born in Madrid. He actually played youth international football for England.
Substitution of the night in the 70th minute here.
Went out of the country for a while with Benfica in their youth setup. He's had a little run from the bench in the Premier League recently. And he's got a Brighton contract that goes to 2026.
Oh, there's another Brighton player. Here we go. Ibarra
on for Ibarra
is
probably
coming
the most
on for
accurate strike from Ecuador in the second half.
Sarmiento. So we see how he's running that good. I mean, if he gets caught the attention of Brighton, should be quite easy.
And they're 2-0 up, so don't mess it up. That'll be probably in his thinking as well. But knowing those who know him, rather than knowing the lad himself, I'd say his mentality will be, well, I can help us add to the 2-0 lead.
Ecuador controlling the game. I think Ecuador just needs to be very patient with what they're doing.
None the worse for that stoppage when he needed
that'll
treatment.
That'll be good for them if Ecuador is patient, calm, composed. They can see this game out
exercising focus, you feel, for
But
Ecuador.
a 3-0, if they score another goal, that'll be the nail in the coffin, 100%.
A few flicks and tricks as well. Casiado. Estrada goes again, and ahead of him was Plata.
No foul given. Oh, interesting. I didn't realize that.
Valencia, scorer of the 2 goals. Another one disallowed. Plata. Towards Valencia.
Unlucky.
4 players in the Qatar box in Ecuador colours. Hasn't been too conspicuous that in the second half. Plenty of it in the first half. And Capier hoisting it forward. Now, Al Hajdouche. Out here to Omar Mahmoud. Buriaf. Sarmiento.
I mean, Ecuador. Sorry.
His clubmate Estupinian.
Holding off on.
And his other clubmate Caicedo.
That's a foul. I mean, they're still doing what they're doing in the first half. They're just giving away these cheap sort of fouls. I mean,
so
yeah.
Some action now in reply.
They're trying to make some changes, but it's too late. It really is too late. It really is.
Just holding the substitution till after the set piece.
Which isn't good. So Ecuador free kick right here.
Opened Qatar up right at
Time
the start.
to play it. Push in the box, cleared by Qatar.
Came in a similar situation with
going for Ecuador.
Felix Torres in that back post area.
Qatar substitution.
So coming on, Mohamed Wad. Goalkeeper takes on the captaincy.
Right, we'll see what these guys can do. See what they can do. I think should be good.
Mohamed Wad, 23-year-old Al-Sadd player, 22nd cap. He's born in Iraq. None of those have been naturalised. And Mohamed Muntari, who hails from Ghana.
Going from Ecuador. Shooting in the box. Yeah, I think he'll think of hitting it. He might do. Here we go. A young lad from Brighton. Free kick to Ecuador.
More problems for Qatar. Good angle for a delivery here. Miguel. Not sure how intentional it was, but it certainly brought his heel.
Alright. If you're wondering why I'm like watching, I'm like looking the other way. I've got obviously the match going on one end and second monitor on this end.
They'd love one before their very eyes. Yellow on the field, yellow in the stand behind the goal. All united here for a goal to clinch the 3 points. Maybe.
I think. Hope can Qatar do it? I mean Ecuador. Can Ecuador from the set piece? I think they score here easy. They should win this. 3-0, come on. Estupinian with the cross. Headed away by Qatar. Estupinian. The ball on his feet. What can you do with it? Caicedo. There's the way back to Estupinian. Driving it forward. Good tackle from Qatar. But it's an Ecuador throw.
Quite well in free play.
There's another Ecuador throw-in right here. There's it back.
Get his goal to become Qatari's all-time leading scorer. Still,
that could have been good
42
for Ecuador. I think that set piece, but unlucky for them. Now they're Ecuador's kind of cornered that one player.
Quite come into the exhibition category from Ecuador, but it's been very controlled. They've been
Qatar's
relatively untroubled.
Way more than the first half. Oh crap! My computer's about to run out.
And they've hardly mentioned Hernan Galindez, a 35-year-old goalkeeper.
I think should be fine.
Yeah. Plenty to think about. Senegal and the Netherlands are the other teams in the group. They play against each other tomorrow. And if you're really into this tournament, you might need to take a few days off work, certainly this week. 3 games tomorrow, 4 games after that for a few days as well. It's a feast.
Here come Qatar. Qatar have been a bit more aggressive in the second half, I think, but it's a bit too late. It really is. Here we go. Back in. Number 14. There's it back. Very quick passes. Ali.
Shooting chance for
first shooting chance for them. Which on target could have been something. Really could have been something, but Qatar haven't been able to take their chances. Obviously, the stroke of half time that got a headed goal.
A hint of
Rather
desperation
than that,
about the shot.
There's nothing. There's nothing for Qatar. Valencia's down again, I think. That's Valencia.
And it's time to go for Valencia.
I'm not too sure. Looks like he's down again, which isn't great for Qatar, obviously.
To get through.
Not
another half an hour, but
he's limping.
How fit he'll be for what lies ahead, and you've seen how important he is.
Two
goals that counted, another one that didn't.
It would be really bad for
winning the penalty that was one of the 2 that counted.
To lose on this man because he's
a cut above, really.
Obviously, he scored the 2 goals in the main man. Will probably alter Ecuador's progression in this.
Bringing experience to this.
But hopefully, all the medics can deal with this quickly. He'll be back fit and ready for the next game, which is against. I'm not too sure. I'm really not too sure. Like it was next game.
He gives way to Jose Cifuentes, who is one of those who won the MLS Cup with
Ecuador.
LAFC.
They're playing the Netherlands now, so yeah, big test for them there. So they would probably see Valencia. If they don't have it, it's going to be a long,
23.
very long day for them, in my opinion.
More of a midfield player. It's not a like-for-like change.
Estupinian just passing it straight to Qatarian. Qatar could salvage something, maybe a consolation goal at least to just show something for the fans.
Really after the loose one.
I don't think.
There's a foul on.
Reference to being a bit. I'm not sure how that was.
Karim Hassan with
again.
Now,
fouls left, right, and center here, ladies and gentlemen.
And Mendes, who has been booked, he should be getting away from the scene.
Hasn't been good. It hasn't been good.
That's one of those. I got there as quick as I
I
could.
can say
It was
that.
a bit
I can
late.
say that to myself. It just hasn't been good. It just hasn't.
But,
Oh, Kai, bro, I'm not even kidding. Probably the whole time.
Every picture
that
tells a
the
story,
goalie has a
really.
red card,
Puff of the
bro.
cheeks.
A yellow card.
Trying to be a match winner, trying to be the hero. That was the dream coming here tonight. Now he's got a booking, which might come back to haunt him even in this game. But certainly if he gets caution in the second game, he would miss the chance to play in all three. So that's not gone
Ecuador free kick.
Qatar's way. Might be a breakaway.
Here comes Qatar. Might be a break. Oh.
Mendes comes across.
Mendes.
He's done a lot of screening. Has played in the back line, really. Working with the newcomer, Fuentes. Torres. Now Caicedo has matured into a very good Premier League player. Scored a goal against Manchester United at the back of last season.
Over the top ball.
And now they might be in for one here for Estrada, for Sarmiento.
Oh. That could have been it, but it was offside anyways.
Flag had gone up.
Oh my days. That was the chance. That was the chance. That was the chance. That was actually the chance.
Certainly made contact.
Unlucky.
Play. It was a good call from the Qatari defenders. Put your flag up. Sarmiento.
Oh, that was the chance. That was the
net.
chance.
It stays at
For the
2-0.
3-0, that nail in the coffin. But 10 minutes to go. Oh. Ooh. Qatar's going to be careful. They have to be very careful here.
Tari trying to knock it down.
I think we just got intel that I think in this match, the opening match, about 67,362, if my ears tell me correctly, which is a lot actually. I mean, obviously the World Cup, but Qatar and Ecuador, that isn't that bad. Here come Ecuador on the break.
Here goes Plata.
They do something here, Ecuador.
Estupinian.
Do something here. Estupinian on the ball. Caicedo. That's the number 5, Donny.
Oh. And Gonzalo Plata got more of a chance to run in now. With Valencia.
Unlucky.
Not sort of bossing that position, saying that's where I want to get my goals from. It's a nicely timed run.
Oh.
The goalkeeper was brave.
Oh, it's unlucky. Eightieth minute now, 10 minutes of normal time.
What's necessary?
Don't know how many added, probably about 4 or 5 minutes.
Any slip-ups here.
Ecuador could get the first 3 points of the World Cup.
Conserve energy at the same time, in fact. With
it up
the substitutes coming on, that is
no one.
A relatively big change in the game to allow 5 substitutes. Can end up with
the man doesn't look happy. Doesn't look happy at all.
With changes of half the outfield players on
the
both
fans
sides.
don't look happy.
Even a possibility of more than that.
This is probably on paper that chance to prove themselves. But just fell short.
6 changes.
Just fell short.
Towards Estrada. Preciado wanting the shot. Changing his mind.
Mendes on the ball. What can he do with it? Plays it back to 1-2. 3-4. Another foul from Qatar. Another cheap ass foul.
Santo might have a problem or two keeping 11. aside
Oh, what a prat. Look at that, bro. My guy legit went and fucking chokeslammed him like it was the Undertaker, bro.
Is it too sinister?
He tried to chokeslam him like it was the Undertaker. Again, I said this about the first. I wouldn't say this in my instant reaction. The cheap fouls that Qatar are just giving. They just think it's just not helping them at all in this game. They're just not helping them at all in this game. It's just.
It's gone forward.
This is not WWE. This is a football match. Here we go, Ecuador.
A bit of pushing and shoving in there as well, I think.
This has been a very pushing and shoving game for both teams, but maybe more for Qatar. Valencia seems like he's happy, he's smiling. Looks like something with his knee. Hopefully he gets better, but he's smiling, he's happy. He got the 2 goals. Definitely going to win.
And why not?
And yeah, Ecuador should secure the first 3 points of this World Cup.
Ecuador need to move on to the next game full of confidence.
Here they go. Here comes Ecuador. He keeps it in. The linesman blocked it. Number 5, what was his name? Does that? He's trying to make the overlapping off, but the linesman blocked it, so he has to slow down.
Very hard to find positives for Qatar. One of which, at the moment, would be, well, they haven't conceded in the second half.
Great. Qatar finished. They're just finished. They're just finished. Qatar, I don't know what to really say about them. I think there's obviously still 2 games to go. So, in my opinion, Qatar can really just do something. They can do.
A host nation is going
to
lose.
They really could.
For the first time in the history of the World Cup finals. World Cup started in 1930. I'm sure many of you know your history.
A long throw from Ecuador. Try to fight Estrada.
Uruguay, a country not that much bigger than Qatar.
Here Qatar comes. Maybe they can grab a consolation goal from this sort of attack. We'll see.
I think it's fair to say that there aren't as many people in the stadium as there were at the start. Afif.
Again, just quite lazy football from Qatar, honestly. This is very lazy from them. Isn't great.
5 minutes away.
Oh, Ecuador on the counter. Can they actually do something from this? Oh, heavy through ball. Oh.
In the end, it was Estrada, the top scoring qualification, of course, with half a dozen goals. And a good foil for Valencia here. He might have been just slightly distracted by the way the goalkeeper came out. There was just a bit too much pace on the ball to keep it in play.
Here comes Qatar. Oh!
How about that for Montari, the
that could have been.
On for
if that went in, that would have been an amazing goal for Qatar.
If you've got confidence in your technique,
long ball.
You can
flip the defense,
latch onto it and volley it and
that
hope
could have
it will
been
dip, and it didn't quite dip enough. It was a brilliant effort by far.
It was a good effort from Qatar. They can continue. They can do more of that in the upcoming against Senegal or Netherlands.
You know, who knows? Really juiced
Qatar
up the last few minutes had it gone in.
Oh, unlucky. Yeah, I think that was like probably their last chance.
Take a risk or two now.
It's their last chance for the game.
Maybe
not.
Numbers in the box.
Oh, missed the header, but they still have pressure on the ball. Blocked, played by the keeper.
Because finally, we can mention her now.
Yeah. I think in the second half it's been a bit like slow the same. But that first half, Qatar got annihilated by Qatar. I mean by Ecuador.
Been brought into a performance that's been more passive than passionate. And that saying that was mentioned at half-time, play the opposition, don't play the occasion. I have to say, playing the opposition, actually, they've been pretty good, the opposition. The occasion has been a bit too much for the Qataris. After all the weight, all the criticism of the way this country has got itself ready-ish anyway for these World Cup finals.
Here from Ecuador.
It's all been a bit too much for the Maroon.
Oh. Playing by the keeper.
And it's a corner for Ecuador.
Oh, corner.
Ooh. A couple of minutes plus added time to go.
Corner for the Qataris. I mean, Ecuador. No, I have no has to. I don't have to. Sorry. Corner for the Ecuadorians. I think if they score, it just seals it. 2 minutes from the 90. Probably 7 minutes, including additional time.
And they wrap it up here. Plata takes.
Headed out.
He had a chat with the substitutes or further down the touchline with his manager.
That was a direct hit, and I call that.
In the second half, Ecuador really haven't had to get out of, say, third gear.
Ecuadorians.
No need for overdrive. No need to lose the balance between defending and attacking. Plata. No foul. Brought out by Homam Ahmed. Made some good ground to get past Gustavo Alvaro in the process.
Now, 89th minute, two changes for Ecuador.
Late changes. Kevin Rodriguez on the right. He's only just got into the squad. It's only his second cap.
Estrada is coming off.
Taking the armband from Enner Valencia.
Estrada. That's his friend.
Helps run down the clock. Gives a little flavour of the occasion. So Caicedo and Estrada get their own personal ovations. And Kevin Rodriguez with the two-tone hair, and Alan Franco had the last few minutes of this opening game.
Added time of how much?
So we're at the end of the first half.
5 minutes of added time.
Extra regulations in place so that the referee doesn't decide this now. The fourth official has a part, and the VAR man has a part as well, because he can
5 minutes
work
of
out
added
what the
time.
timing is of the VAR reviews, which of course started the evening in dramatic fashion, ruling out a seemingly good opening goal for Ecuador. Didn't change the course of history, it just delayed it.
I think Ecuador's got this in the bag. They've got this in the bag, and I think Ecuador should be proud of themselves. I think Ecuador should use this as momentum, as fuel to go in against Senegal, because they beat Senegal. They're finishing second, and I think they have the capability to do it, provided if Valencia is fit. If Valencia's not fit by the Senegal match, there might be a bit of trouble, because he was obviously the main goal scorer in this match. So
just had plenty of touches as well.
It would
midfield from time to time.
It would be harder for them.
It would be
through the
much
middle.
harder. Goalkeeper came out to his feet. They're good players. Making a very good start to their World Cup campaign. Mendes.
Yeah, they're just trying to wind down the clock. Ecuador,
The 5 added
full
minutes
time,
have got.
like it's inevitable. 2-0 Qatar. I mean Ecuador.
remained
Oh,
intact.
I said 2-0 Qatar. 2-0
through the second
Ecuador.
half.
Ecuador. 2-0 Ecuador. And it's making that clear.
And
2-0 Ecuador.
Have hardly got the belief to go even hunt it down. They forced a little bit of an error there. Not exactly back to the drawing board,
what do you do if you're
their
Qatar?
very
You
first
lost
game in the
to
finals of the
Ecuador.
World Cup.
On paper, your
And
best chance of winning.
It's always a daunting experience for
I'm
players
not sure
who
what you do.
haven't got that much
Play for
experience. One or
pride,
two of them been outside Qatar
or
to play a tie-up between
you know,
clubs and clubs in Spain, for example.
what would you do?
There's been nothing extravagant,
As
nothing to
Qatar.
compare with.
Honestly, I don't know. After
what they've been up
watching
against
this, I
in
don't
this
know what you
game.
do as Qatar. Like, I'm just happy to
Stayed
be
the
there.
end, and
I'm happy to be there. And
2 more
honestly,
games to come, whatever happens. You can lose your first game and still
I
qualify.
think Qatar. I don't know. Honestly, I'll probably say my thoughts after my match reaction about Ecuador, about Qatar, and how they both played and what towards the
When they've
future
got
for
on the
them
ball,
in
they've rushed their passes, tried to
stage,
force
as well
the
as the
issues.
country in general. Like
Often the way
Qatar
when
actually
you're being
aren't a bad
outplayed,
side.
it's
They
the
won the
specific
AFC
criticism
Cup or
of
what some cup, the
this
Asian
group of
Cup.
players, but
I'm
they've
pretty
been
sure.
second best.
So they're not actually a bad side
There's
in
been
terms
no
of Asia,
disguising
but
that.
like they're not particularly good. And here's Ecuador on the break. This could be
Suspicion
is
of
this the
offside,
goal?
but the flag
Corner.
stays down. It's a corner.
It's a corner kick. I don't know what you do as if
We're
you're
dealing in the
Qatar.
last
Like,
few seconds now here.
I think
in the
you've
north
got to
of Qatar.
somehow maybe
Always
salvage
stuck to his
draws.
guns.
Like, for me, I think Qatar's definitely out, but I just want them to you know, play like show the world, like lead the world with something. At least score a goal or do something for the home fans. You know, just do shit. Here we go, Ecuador.
Could
Oh,
have led to an even wider margin.
this could have been a 3. That could have been 3-0.
In the end, Kevin Rodriguez.
It really could have been 3-0.
Well, he hopes it's a long and fruitful.
But game's about to end in
international
like
career.
20 seconds, so
If got himself an international goal.
it is what it is. Better luck next time for Qatar. Ecuador should use this momentum. There's one more.
It's a very late corner.
Very late
Qatar.
corner here for Qatar.
Going
He'll
to
grab some sort of
get them anything from the
consolation
game
goal from
unless
this.
it's a consolation goal.
This is going to be the last kick of the game right here.
Been very few of these defensive tests for Ecuador. They passed that one. They passed the test of the opening game as well.
It's full time.
Ecuador,
Full
excellent.
time here.
Ecuador,
I'll be
emphatic.
chucked full time here.
Qatar, unwanted place in the record books. First host nation to lose its opening game in the World Cup finals. But they've been well beaten. Nena Valencia was the man who did almost all the damage, winning the penalty score from heading in the second. And prior to that, having what looked like a perfectly good
It's
goal
full time
disallowed
here.
by the new offside
It's full time
system.
here.
So a great start for the South American nation.
Qatar
I said when I saw them train
0.
yesterday, they were full of exuberance. They brought that to the
Ecuador
match as well, and so
2.
have their fans. But it's a different mood here in Qatar for the home support and the home players. The opening game has finished. Qatar 0, Ecuador 2.
It was the Nena Valencia show in the